So this is a Border Leicester sheep, typical breed that the pioneers would have had. In fact, that's the #1 breed, the most popular. They had South Downs as well, but Border Leicesters were very popular because they were a dual purpose breed. So you would get an excellent fleece for spinning, and you would also be able to eat them. So that's what I mean by dual purpose. Now this ewe here is 3 years old, and she has lambs. I forget if she has twins or just a single. It's very common for them to have twin births. So we like that because the more lambs we have, the better. And we have more sheep the following year. So we have about 12 sheep in our flock on average. Right now we're sort of higher than that because we just went through a lambing. So we have 22. Yeah, I get sleepy when I count, so that's usually what happens. So without further ado, it is springtime, so we must shear the sheep. And what I'm going to do here first is I'll shear all this around her neck, and we'll most likely not use it for any kind of processing. It'll probably go in the compost heap. And these are the shears. We're using only the best shears from England. And see, she doesn't seem to mind it too much. I think she's fairly itchy, and this whole shearing process will probably make scratching a whole lot easier. I just have to watch that I don't snip the ears off.
We want to do as much as we can with her standing up. As long as she likes to stand here, we'll try and do our best to keep her comfortable and be as patient with her as she is with us. So we try to trim around the neck, and then later on we'll be able to set her up in what's called a chair hold. And then gravity is going to sort of take over, and that helps us and allows the fleece to sort of drop to the ground, and we'll have a better view of what we're actually shearing.
It's important to have a good view of what you're shearing, meaning sheep have a very loose skin with a thick layer of fat underneath it, especially on these older ewes. So we don't want to cut into that by mistake. And by sitting her up, the wool will just fall away and we can see where the skin is. Very important. I like that.
But it doesn't actually hurt them. This is just, it's a very routine procedure. It's something that you could use the wool for clothing, but the fleece actually insulates the sheep from the sun. So when we take it off, they can sometimes feel a bit hotter.
I have a hair here. I feel like just going like this.
But it'll be really itchy for her. So once we get this off, she'll for sure have a good scratch. She's got all kinds of hay and stuff in there.
So I usually like to work away past the crease of the neck. Makes it easier later on when I set her up. And we have a few burrs here. Probably won't be able to use that for spinning since we have burrs in there. So I've done the neck. See, nothing to it, hoofs. I'll try this to work my way down her chest, and I'll just open up her fleece, just like a coat, right? Only she doesn't have buttons. She needs to just be cut open.
So ideally we like to do this all in one piece. We want to take the fleece off all in one piece. That way when we're finished, we can see exactly what part of the fleece belong to which part of the sheep's body. So for example, the parts that we won't use, the back where they tend to rub, around the edges where it's very dirty, we can then skirt it, which means we sort of clean out those bits that we're not going to use, and the fleece is still all intact, and we can roll it up into one big ball rather than having a whole bunch of it up there.
See, just like a jacket.
It really is like a jacket.
A smelly jacket right there. See? That's the end of that.
That
so
was easy.
Yeah, it's very easy.
Wow.
Isn't it?
That's so
the
nice.
Things that make me happy.
I like that.
Okay, you just
Yes.
fix the not fixable. Do here is we're gonna set her up. So that's always fun.
Move her onto the tarp a little bit.
Let's do that.
Be on there. Okay. Oh, that's really.
So what I do is, with smaller sheep, you can just grab them and sort of twist their neck up, and it sounds brutal, but you can just sit them up in one sweep. These are bigger sheep, so I always hold them under the chin, and I grab one of the back legs and I pull that out from under her like that, so she'll have to sit down. Ta-da! Just like that. So now I can just take this fancy rope off, fix my hair one more time, and away I go.
So basically we like to put them in this position, and Jeff, as you were asking earlier, it's good because you can see now why we don't want her to have a full stomach. They get a lot of gas, and that's just not a pretty thing. So this is a good position. She can't really get away unless she struggles a lot, and even then we try to keep them sort of in that spot. They can't get their feet on the ground, which is nice.
Now, we haven't washed the sheep, but the pioneers commonly wash their sheep in a creek on river, but they would do this to clean the wool beforehand. I think a cleaner fleece would be more marketable, and it would get rid of all these tags here and the nasty bits that you don't really want in your fleece. It was very, very laborious to put sheep in a creek. As you can well imagine, they don't really want to be washed. So we don't do this because we have good workers here to clean the fleece afterwards.
The other thing about washing the sheep beforehand is you'd have to wait maybe a week in order for the fleece to fully dry, because you can't really shear wet fleece. It's quite difficult to shear. So washing them beforehand was a good idea because the intention was to keep your shears nice and sharp so that you weren't cutting through all that debris. However, you'd have to wait a while for that fleece to dry completely. We do this once a year in the spring. That way we make sure that the sheep have a nice fleece before the winter and they're able to stay warm. You can see how Viola's just working her way down one side, and how I was talking about the gravity earlier, and it's all just sort of falling down.
It just helps later on when I shear the other side, when it's past the spine. So she's fussing a little bit, our sheep here, and burping, but that's normal. If she's fussing and not quite comfortable, I just have to reposition her a little bit. Because that's probably why she's doing it. Let's just go with that. I call sheep to be actually quite passive aggressive. They'll just lean on you harder and flail their legs.
A lot of people will ask us, oh, does it hurt the poor sheep? And we always say, well, think about the poor shearer. For us, this typically wasn't a woman's job, so you can see our outfits aren't really suitable for this kind of work. Pants would be much more convenient, but generally this would be a man's job, but since we're here, we know how to do it, we're doing it. Men would go from farm to farm and they would offer to shear your sheep for you, sort of like a seasonal job, and that's how you would get your sheep sheared. I don't know if you can see that yellow tinge there. That's actually the lanolin in the fleece. It's all over her body as well, and nowadays we can use that for hand creams and makeups, and makes her hands very, very soft. It's naturally produced in the sheep's fleece. If we were to just spin this into wool and knit a sweater without washing it at all, we'd have virtually a waterproof sweater, which is always nice. Might smell a bit funny though.
So is the idea to take it off all in one piece?
Yeah, all in one piece.
Okay.
Sort of like peeling an orange in one piece.
Okay, but if we don't peel an orange in one piece, we still get easier.
Yes.
So what's the advantage of peeling?
The advantage of doing it all in one piece is that once we're finished, we're able to, you do something called skirting it, where you're going to lay it out on a table and you're going to look at the parts, so you're able to see which parts you really don't want to use, whereas if it was just in bits and pieces all over, it's just a big old mess. It's a lot more organized. You can then also you can roll it up all in one piece, and it just stays contained.
Oh, Mama, you're
just good practice.
My good nature here. Yeah, it sort of stays together on its own. Each strand of fleece has got little microscopic hooks on it, so it gets all hooked together, and people will always ask, why does it stick together? It's just it just stays together. You can see here,
just all in one piece. Once we're finished, we'll spread it out and you'll be able to see the whole sheep body.
It's amazing what we find in here. You're the last sheep, Mommy. Yay.
Nice line there, Viola.
Isn't it
Beautiful.
He's bit it. And I'll cut as long as I can. It's just starting to, the skin is starting to sort of shelf a little bit back here, so I have to be careful. And I'll stretch the skin with this hand. And at the same time, I'm thinking of what this girl's up to. I can sort of feel the way she holds her body. If she sort of starts going rigid like that, she's just telling me, I'm going to run away, and there's nothing you want to do about it. So I'm just not going to, I want to work my way down here as far as I can, reach over and cut what I can. So the next thing, piece out of the way, and then I'll just grab her, step over the fleece without getting caught, and then find my other foot. What am I on? Fleece?
There you go. Good.
There. See, and then when I come around this way, it's almost like I haven't done a thing.
Back to this.
Back to the beginning.
Back to the start.
It's like a little dance.
It
It is.
absolutely,
That's
that is
exactly
a very,
what it's like.
very good observation. Just get down lower here. Now I'm sort of cutting against the grain here, so I go a little slower when I'm not quite sure. But there's always, you cut, and then push it back with the blades. You never pull on the fleece like this, because you're tenting the skin, and if you cut in here now,
You're going to get skin.
you're going to cut into the sheep, so we'd rather not do that. I mean, sometimes we'll have a few little cuts, but that's not really a big deal. It's sort of like a shaving cut. And because they have all this lanolin in their fleece, it's a natural antibiotic, so we don't worry too. So I like to get past this elbow here.
Yeah.
See that? Nothing to it. And the closer you are to the skin, the safer.
It's starting to rain.
Ooh,
We're going to get poured on.
that
So
will
remember what I said about shearing wet fleece?
not a good thing.
It'll be okay.
We will not manifest that one.
You're good.
So I'm starting another nice little line here. It looks like a bunch of tree trunks.
Sort of how you gauge where you're cutting. You just keep following those lines over and over and over again. It's like your guide for cutting, basically. Now these type of shears, they're still used today in a lot of remote areas where there's no electricity available. So where sheep are turned out in the hundreds, a lot of shearers will still shear their sheep in this manner, and they can do it pretty quick too.
Trying to speed things up here. Very, very thick right here, and that's probably the type of wool we want for the spinning. That's the prime. It's okay, Mama. Won't be long now. You're a good sheep.
Good sheep. This is also a good opportunity to get a good look at the shape of the sheep. Often you can't see that when they're covered in fleece, so yearly you'd have a chance to check out your flock and see what kind of shape they were in. You can also tell by the fleece if a sheep has been sick. Generally they don't have a very healthy looking fleece.
Yeah. Need an umbrella just about now. Shearing in the rain.
It's not really raining, Viola.
No.
No,
I don't know what that is.
it's just sprinkles.
Yeah. That's okay. Can you pull that fleece away a little
Of
bit?
course.
Ah.
Okay.
Beautiful.
There you go.
Easy going. So I'm feeling like I have to stretch her out more so I can see a good line here. It's getting hard to reach.
One of the advantages of having violas build when you're shearing is that you have a nice long reach. However, most of the time she's doubled in half.
She means tall and
It's
handsome.
tall and
The handsome part really helps. The sheep are always very impressed with that. Time to edit. Alright, so if I was by myself, I'd lay her down and pin her head down with my foot. But I have Amanda here, so she's going to hold her while I finish up her hind end. Okay? Comfortable?
oh, very.
I wasn't asking you. I
Oh.
was asking the sheep.
You guys have pigs, right?
Yeah, we're
Yeah,
gonna.
we gotta finish it.
Yeah,
Yeah, even if we had like a downpour, I'd still
We'll still be shearing.
because you know it's to come off
Be
in one
good.
piece. So yeah, thanks for asking though. It won't be long now. I mean, things will slow down a little bit now because we're getting toward the really delicate bits back here. So I usually, for that, I put my hand underneath here and feel first what's there. These are rather big blades. And it just takes one cut to do some damage. So see, we have a drama component to this video as well.
and it's not like meat, where in cows, there's parts of the cow have good meat, parts of the cow have, maybe not so good grades. The wool's all the same throughout the entire sheep, I guess, or
No, it isn't. The wool around the neck is usually dirty. The wool around the back has usually been scratched.
Wool around the bum is usually dirty.
Yeah? Or would you like me to tell you why?
yeah.
Because that's where the poo comes from. See, I show you. So what I'm doing now, I'm not even keeping this part of the fleece. I'm just going to cut that off. And I'm looking for her tail currently. Oh, it's right there. Okay. There's her tail. So there.
Okay, I know it's raining on you. Poor thing.
I know. I mean,
I wasn't talking to you. I was talking to the sheep.
so basically, what I'm doing here, I'm just cleaning her up. For her, not at the village. Come on. So this is just cleaning. See right there. This is what I was talking
Yeah,
about.
no kidding, yeah.
That's
You
the
don't want to
worst
mess around
part.
with that area.
No. Yeah, that's clean enough. They have to always wiggle their tail when I cut her on there. She doesn't like it much.
I get that. Are you itchy? Maybe I could scratch you right here. How much?
Is it still?
Don't you go anywhere,
Oh.
silly girl. Okay?
Yeah, can you turn her for me?
Okay? Being very good. Shearing. Yes. See, she's itchy. Debris on her back.
Oh, yeah.
Exit.
It's still running, or? Yeah, it should be good. Yeah, thanks, yeah. Yeah, you gotta get it.
Can't go anywhere just yet.
I'm almost done here. In other words. attached the fleece. Yeah, it's all detached now.
You just put it in your pocket, Jim?
Should I? Oh, should I? Okay, so she's fully sheared now. We're just giving her a quick. We're just checking to see if her toenails need to be trimmed. Cutting twice, but she's got to look just right. So I'll just get my toenail trimmers here.
Okay, let's get wide enough.
Give her a bit of a pedicure.
Slowly walk around this way.
This sheep's actually, we've done her already, but we trimmed her in the pen so it's dark in there and couldn't see properly. But she's actually really good. Just want to get this little edge.
Do they have a way of sort of wearing those down themselves? I guess just by walking around, say in the natural terrain, or
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
They do. It's just their terrain here is very soft,
Yeah.
so there isn't enough friction to really wear it down to where it's acceptable. Now, these hooves, like, look at that's really quite good. Sometimes what happens if they're neglected and they haven't been done for years, this will grow over the side. And it'll keep growing, and it looks sort of like a corkscrew. And they'll be walking on their heels. It's painful. So it's good practice to cut them once a year at least. Corrective trimming 101.
okay. I thought it would have been. Okay, it doesn't sound too bad once a year.
Sorry,
been-
it's okay. Okay, so our sheep is done. So we'll let her stand up, and I'm just a little puff back there. There you go. There. They're all done, so we're going to go to the pub now and have a pint.
We can get a shot of this probably.
Awesome. Yeah, that was great.
Okay, so this is the finished sheep.
There you go. Thanks. Oh, you got to point it at the people pub.
So this is the back, and you can see that's not the greatest quality wool because she scratched it there, and it's naturally where her back was, right here. So you can see how it's really thin here, and that's where she's scratched herself, and it's also it's naturally thin there anyways. It's just right at the top of her spine, so that's what you would get. Now, is this which end is which? This is the neck. So that's the neck, and this is the her bottom area. So this is a really good. You would use this fleece right here, and this stuff here, that's for compost. These are called the tags, and we would just cut them off. So we would skirt around this. So now we'll fold it up, and it'll go to first house, and that's where the real work starts with washing and dyeing and carding and spinning. Hours and hours of fun. Right. Yeah. So you roll it. You don't want to put the clean onto the clean. You want to put the clean on the clean. You don't want the dirty bits sitting on the clean bits when you're rolling it up. So you can see all the dirty stuff is on the outside. Nothing to it. So how many pounds do you think we have there?
I'd say about 8.
8
10?
pounds? Yeah.
10 pounds? What is that? Weighed hers, it was 10.
It was 10 pounds. Okay. Well,
A yearling.
that's after skirting. So that's
would that be a good average, or is that above, below?
That's average, yeah, 8 to 12 pounds. So
Okay.
off a border Leicester sheep. So that's pretty good. We gave her a really nice fleece. It was a yearling, so they usually have a better quality fleece because they're not pregnant. That doesn't deplete their body, and so that doesn't disturb their metabolism at all. So they have a beautiful fleece. And genetically, the yearling we had, not this one, she just has a really good quality fleece. So we want more offspring from that sheep. Right?
And was that a breed that was found in early Ontario? Around the time?
Yeah, very popular. The most popular. I mean, the history books say Border Leicester were by far the number one breed that they kept. And Canada has actually been known through the ages for their really good quality purebred breeding stock, and we've been selling to the States.
Okay, and then what do you know? Like on average, how many? Like I guess it depends on the size of the farm, the size of the family. How many sheep they would
on
have?
average about 12 sheep.
Okay.
For a family farm, for sort of their own use, that's what they kept, and that's sort of what we're trying to keep here. I try to keep an average of 10 to 12, just like the pioneers did.
And that would just sustain the family. That was not for any revenue.
Yeah,
For
pre-1860, before the Industrial Revolution, farming and whatever you produced on the farm stayed on the farm for your family to be used. And then after that, we started getting the dairies, the making of cheeses, and all that stuff. But that's later. So I don't know. Perhaps they would have sold fleeces, but I don't think they would have exported them. I have no proof on that one. So we like proof.
yeah, I know. But after, I don't know. This may be a dumb question, but like, okay. So how long do the sheep live roughly? What's the lifespan?
Well, if we let them. 15, yeah. They usually lose their teeth.
Okay, so would you shear it for the whole 15, then eat it, or it was like, okay,
Yeah.
the meat's gonna get so you get as much wool as you can, and then
Yeah.
on its last leg to eat it.
Yeah, if you really had to. I mean, mutton. I mean, old sheep is called mutton, and it's not your best meat, but it's still edible, right? So if you were poor, I would think you would go buy mutton.
Okay, but it was more for the wool.
Yeah, it was. And don't forget, they have on average 2 lambs. So, and if you have lots of ram lambs, you don't need those ram lambs. So you would eat lamb as well, right? You'd have too much too many lambs. So if you have too many males, they would go for lamb chops, and they still do. Lamb chops.
Thanks for watching, and please subscribe.